Football is awesome, coming to you this week, Week 15 edition. I can't believe we're 15 weeks into this season, and because you've added now the extra week now this year, the Week 18 now, we have a month to go. It feels like an eternity, but also feels like a short time away. 4 weeks away. I mean, a lot of football will be playing, and a lot of things. Like I said, one of the themes this season has been, again, the kerfuffle, as I call it, the clusterfuck, as I call it. And especially in the AFC, for the most part, better part of the year, we've seen this kind of jumbling of teams, between 1 and 7 and 8, be within a game or two of each other, not knowing who's doing what teams are pulling away or falling apart, whatever. And, of course, we've seen now in the last couple of weeks, the Patriots have caught fire. The Chiefs, as ugly as it's been, they're back. That's the theme here. The Chiefs are back. Giving shit to my boy Big Jim, James Neese. Regular guest of the podcast. Well, I haven't been on this show, on this feed, actually, in about 2 months now. He asked me when he come back on. Yeah, I'm a bad host. But we'll have it on soon, I promise. But we've been having this whole banter back and forth about the Chiefs, and all year long, one of the biggest themes in this show. You hear it on the Power Rankings with me and Mikey, and of course, with me and Kyle and Zach and I talk about it. The Chiefs and how much confidence that despite the slow start, how much confidence I have in that team. And now you're seeing it, again, not pretty, but they're 9-4. I think they're back. I think it's so dangerous. And you see the 2 wins against the Raiders in the last couple of weeks, in all blowouts. One thing you're starting to see now is the jumble. And the last couple of weeks I was saying that, you don't know. There hasn't been, the NFC's had a tier 1 for quite a while now. You knew in the NFC that there are certain teams, 3 teams in particular, in my opinion, have established themselves as the tier 1 teams in the conference. The AFC really didn't have that. You have teams that started out great and started fading. For the first time this year, I think now we have a tier 1, I think, developing and pretty much, I think, established now in the AFC. The Patriots who are 9-4, the Chiefs who are 9-4 as well too. Now the Titans are 9-4 as well too, but we don't trust them. They don't have Derrick Henry, and although the reports are that he will come back for the playoffs most likely. But until that happens, until we see him on the field, I can't necessarily put my finger on that, honestly. The Ravens are 8-5, but again, injuries galore. Lamar Jackson got hurt this week against Cleveland. So we can't put them in that tier either. The Chargers, all of a sudden, played well last couple weeks, but I can't put them in that same thing either. And of course, you have the big kerfuffle in the middle of the AFC Wildcard Race between the Broncos and the Bengals and the Colts and the Bills and all these teams, and the Dolphins are 1 game behind and all that. So one thing that's clear that the AFC, we do have a new, officially now have a tier 1 creation now between the Patriots and the Chiefs, and we'll see if that holds going forward, because it's a lot of what we played. Again, 4 weeks to go. Anything can happen. So it's going to be a fun finish to the year. I cannot wait to the playoffs. I don't want this time to go too fast either, but at the same time, enjoying this process. So, anyway, also, before we get going, before we get Mikey B and the guys on the podcast, I did go 5-0 for the first time this year on my picks, my best bets. Obviously, I'm bragging a little bit, so whatever. So I'm now 43-27 for the year. I went 4-1 last week, 5-0 this week. And let's keep the winning times going. Shooters shoot. Respect the picks. And we'll keep it going. So anyway, that is my call for today. Let's bring in Mikey B for the Week 15 Power Rankings, as well as Sat 5, and then Kyle Nash doing a game report, and we end it with Zack the Degenerate, as he has tied things up now on our bet for this year. So here we go. Enjoy. Power Rankings, Week 14. Wait, Week 15. Oh, 15, right? What?
It's one of those weeks.
Yeah, it's a long year. It's added the week to this season going forward, and Mikey B is here with us. Yeah, these rankings are becoming harder and harder every week to do. At least the entire top 10. There's no question the top 6 teams in the league are the top 6 teams in the league. I think no one's going to question that.
We'll see.
Everything after that,
we'll see.
You might question it. We'll see.
No, I got a feeling there's going to be some fucking really shocking things in the rankings, and I'm here for it. So that's not wasting any time. And by the way, I'm having some technical issues right now, so no sound effects, unfortunately, for this episode. And I don't know what's going to happen with my computer. I'm going to get a new computer. Let's go number 10. Let's get out of the way, man, because this is going to be fun. Number 10, who you got?
Give me the Tennessee Titans.
I don't disagree with that, actually. They're on my top 10. They're not number 10, but they're in the top 10. Tennessee, I mean, look, they're winning as they need to win. They have 9 wins. I said on the podcast last week with Kyle that the magic number for them is 10. They get 10 wins, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah. Especially how it seems like nobody in the AFC wants to win those wild card spots.
Especially that Colts schedule is tough too. So even if the Titans seem to slip the next couple weeks, if they just win one more game in the next couple weeks, they should be okay. At least for the AFC South anyway.
Correct.
Number 10 for me, the Baltimore Ravens. Now they almost came back and won that game against Cleveland without Lamar Jackson. So that's a positive. But again, we're seeing more things that should concern you. And things I was saying earlier in the year, that sustainability. Now, obviously Lamar is needed, but I think that game said more about the Browns more than anything else in terms of, you lost the best player in that team. You still almost lost the game. Pretty sick.
I can see that.
Number 9, who you got?
Give me Jimmy G and the San Francisco 49ers.
You know, I actually considered the Niners in my top 10. I really did. They're playing good football.
Mm-hmm.
And they're dangerous. And remember, this team was in the Super Bowl not even 2 years ago.
Yeah, no. They went on the road, played a really good game against, my Cincinnati Bengals, won in overtime. Those two teams went back and forth. But yeah, that defense, when it's there and it's healthy, is pretty damn good defense. They're getting just what they need out of Jimmy Garoppolo, and they did that without, the guy who's been running for him basically all year, and Eli Mitchell. Jeff Wilson Jr. and Hasty and all that. They've been out without Mostert. They've been out without now Mitchell for this week. So they're getting pieces, and of course, when you have the top 3 tight end in football who can just run down the field and just stiff arm people's souls, it helps.
Yeah, they're dangerous now. I think I'm at a point now where I feel like I can lock up the wild card now. That wild card picture it's a mess. So come on, what do you have the most confidence in?
I'm not necessarily all in on already locking them in a spot because crazy shit can occur.
No, I agree with you because of the situation, the standings. But the thing is, look at those teams, all those 6 and 7, 7, 6 teams in that spot. You need 2 spots there. Rams obviously locked for the 5 spot.
Correct.
Which teams do you have the most faith in to close the deal? Niners are one of those 2 teams, in my opinion, anyway.
I can see it.
Yeah. Number 9 for me, the Tennessee Titans, like I just mentioned. I said winning is at the win. I mean, and now we're hearing good news reports about Derrick Henry could be back in January. The reports are good. So if he's healthy in January, look out. Assuming he's good enough to play, of course. So. Number 8.
Give me Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Clippers.
I got the Clippers too at number 8. I mean, now they're winning the games they need to win. That Bengals win looks huge now in hindsight because now they're 8-5. The mess in the Walker place also in the AFC is getting a little bit weird, so they're starting to put a little bit of distance themselves in the other, 2 other teams in that wild card race. So good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7.
The Chefs.
Wow. They can't move, can they?
Buddy, it's hard to move when the 6 teams that are ahead of you don't lose.
Agreed.
And when the one that does lose is the number 1 overall team. I'm not dropping them 6 spots to appease Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry. I am not the National Football League because, hey, let's flex a game into the Sunday night game last week. That should have been Cincinnati-LA game, but no, Patrick Mahomes is an option. So let's suck his dick some more. No, I'm good. I'm not Roger Goodell.
No, I see a point there. They were 7 for you last week, though, weren't they?
They were 7 last week. Nobody moved.
They haven't moved. Okay. We'll talk about them in a second. Number 7, this team moved up 1 spot. Now, it wasn't pretty on the offense, but their defense carried them this week, actually. That is the Dallas Cowboys. When's the last time you could say that Dallas Cowboys defense carried them to a win? That's weird.
I think there's actually been a couple times this year where that defense has bailed them out.
Dak is starting to come to earth a little bit last couple weeks, though.
You can't expect him to go out there and throw for 400 yards a game. Like, you can't.
Agreed. But it's a good sign, though, if, he has a bad game, that the D will come through.
No. The sign in this game is when Tony Pollard isn't healthy, that offense is not as explosive as it has been. Tony Pollard doesn't play against Washington. They look pedestrian. That means that there's an Ezekiel Elliott problem, and he may not be a Cowboy next year.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That's definitely one of the big storylines of the offseason once this year's over. Number 6.
I have Dallas at 6.
Okay.
I give them the edge over Kansas City for one reason and one reason only, and that's the defense. I'm scared of parts of the Dallas defense. There's nothing that's I can't throw at this guy. I can't run at this guy. I can't, I'm worried about going across the middle against this guy in Kansas City's defense. It's just like they play their scheme very well. They play their roles very well, but there's no like, oh man, I really don't want to go after Parsons, or oh man, I really don't want to go after Diggs, like the Dallas defense has.
If there's one thing with the Dallas defense, I think it scares me, if you're an opponent of the Cowboys, of course, is that not only can they make plays and change games. Like they can literally pick sixes, with Diggs.
Right.
And
game changing plays.
Yeah, things that, they literally, help the offense in a way where, okay, we can afford to go 3 and out here because the defense will win that, give you 6 back. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. Number 6 for me, this team surprisingly did not move because of the top 6, but they probably should move, but it's the LA Rams. I mean, the only team you can consider taking out of this list for me is what the Pats didn't play this weekend. The Chiefs obviously moved up because of the way how dominant they were this weekend, and Arizona's not going to move that far down. So it's really a battle of the 6 at this point. These are the 6 best teams in the league in my opinion now going forward, and clearly the best 6 teams in the league. So the Rams number 6 for me. They had 6. Let's see if they can do it again next week though. That's a big win last night, though. Big win, especially the circumstances too. Without having Jalen Ramsey, not having Higbee last minute, it's a huge win. You there?
I'm just gonna shake my head at you.
I was gonna see you. Number 5.
Bad loss last night, and bigger questions coming out of that game. The Arizona Cardinals.
I also have number 5, and there you go. There was a small part of me that considered swapping these two also. There was a small part of me saying, yes, I should move the Cardinals to 6. That's a bad loss. That's a bad loss.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing some bad signs here too with, best record in the league going last night, but I don't trust them. And then that whole, angel in the air saying I don't trust them. Last night I saw it. That's how you saw it. So I don't know. The Cardinals, I'm with you on Cardinals.
I looked last night played at Kirk Cousins level on primetime.
Yeah. This was a bad game. And look, they still could have won it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, which makes them still dangerous at the same time.
Oh, no, absolutely. They're still dangerous, but I'm not all in on them.
Right. They have to be penalized.
I've had my fears since they lost J.J. Watt to injury.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you mentioned on the rankings way back when. So, yeah. Number 4, you got?
This team got off to a really explosive start and had to hold on to win. That is Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was a weird game.
When they're up by like 17 points, and I'm like, all right, they're cakewalking, and that means that they're probably going to be in the top 3 of my rankings if everything goes the way it was going. And I was like, and all of a sudden I look down and it's like, oh, they're in overtime. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Again, as I was saying already, they're still the safe pick of the Super Bowl because, again, I really believe they're just in a stealth mode. Just get me to January, and we'll do the rest. So, and they're also going to get the biggest shots on every opponent because they are the champs. So,
well,
their
issue long term is the fact that right now they won't have the bye, so they're going to have to play 3 games to get to the Super Bowl, and a 4th one to win the Super Bowl, unless something crazy happens and some people start losing ahead of them, which I'm not saying isn't possible. But that now means that you're going to leave Brady out there for week 16 and week 17 and maybe sit him week 18 after you clinch that division. But you're not looking to sit him for a longer period of time because you're not going to have that first round bye.
Except they also did that last year. And every win was on the road, except for the Super Bowl itself, actually. So there is precedent still for doing this crap. But you would rather have the bye, of course, being having an older team. So I agree on that angle. So they need to catch Green Bay at this point. So number 4 for me is Brady's old team, the New England Patriots. They didn't play this weekend, so it didn't really matter. But the Patriots, we'll see what they do this weekend against Indy. That's a huge game, both teams. Well, Houston, Indy especially. So number 3.
You don't lose, you don't play, you don't fall. Give me the best defense in football, led by Mac Jones. Give me the New England Patriots.
All right, I like that.
Best defense in football. I said it 3 weeks ago. I said it last week. I'll continue to say it. They are the best defense in the National Football League.
Is that actually a thing? People are actually countering you with that? Because I don't know why that's even.
There are people that are like, I don't think it's the best. I'm like,
they're stupid.
What are you talking about? They're the best defense in football, hands down.
What the fuck are they watching then? Because they're not watching a different sport here, because it is clearly the best defense in football.
100%.
It's not even a close second here.
No. Especially not in the top 10.
Number 3 for me, I love you, Big Jim, but the Kansas City Chiefs. Big Jim cancels his show tonight. And I told him, gee, we guess the Chiefs go on the roll, they blow out the Raiders, and don't say you cancel your show tonight.
Buddy, I said it on Twitter. I'll say it here for everyone to hear it. You could have got me, you, Big Jim, Craig, and 7 other people, and we could have scored 35 on fucking Vegas on fucking Sunday.
But this is the Chiefs team I think scares me now. Now you have, at some point that offense will figure it out. And you got that one game finally this weekend.
Yeah, but buddy, they're still fucking running behind a fucking makeshift offensive line.
Agreed. Yeah.
Their defense doesn't scare anybody.
No,
When you look at it, guess what? Go in and play fucking the hoodie. Against that defense, Patrick better be perfect, because if he's not, Mac Jones is going to walk.
I mean, that's definitely a narrative that could play out.
Tennessee gets a healthy Derrick Henry back, he'll run all over that defense. Justin Herbert will throw all over them.
I think it's clear right now that it's a 2-team race for number 1 in the AFC in terms of number 1 seed. And these are the 2 teams here, the Patriots and the Chiefs.
And tell me why Bill Belichick will get the bye, and we'll just diagnose everyone.
Remember I was saying last week, a couple weeks ago, that there's not a clear tier 1 in the AFC just yet. We're still trying to figure that out. I think we've now started to establish a tier 1 now in the AFC, and I think that's the Chiefs and the Patriots right now.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So, all right, who does number 2 work for you, Mikey?
Big win last night. Big performance in a game that he needed to have by the one and the only Matt Stafford. I will take the Sean McVay-led Los Angeles Rams, and I'm going to take them for a very specific reason.
Yeah.
No Jalen Ramsey, no Higbee, no Darrell Henderson, banged up offensive line. Oh, but by the way, they have a top 5 wide receiver there. And anyone that wants to sit here and say that Cooper Kupp is not a top 5 wide receiver, open your fucking eyes.
Top 5? He's the best receiver in the league right now.
No. Best receiver in the league right now. But I'm saying, when you look at the wide receiver position in the National Football League, if he is not in your top 5, you're living under a rock. I have people telling me that they're taking Chris Godwin and Mike Evans over him. Sorry, sir. There's the fucking exit row. Please fucking leave.
Wow. I don't know where that's coming from, but that is ridiculous.
I go, I'm taking Tyreek Hill over him. I'm like, why? Because he can run a 4.3 40? Because we've watched Tyreek drop balls left and right, including multiple in the Super Bowl last year. But, the guy who just runs across the middle and gets teed off on every time he catches the football, hops up and goes, here you go, sir. Yeah, give me Cooper.
The only guy I would even consider this season putting him in the conversation with Kupp is DeAndre Hopkins. That's it. That is it.
Devontae Adams.
What about Adams? Right, Adams is the one, yeah. Those are 2 guys.
It's Adams, it's Hopkins, it's Diggs, it's Cooper. Like, those are your 4.
Right. 2 for me is the Tampa Buccaneers. And it's weird. They move up despite the squeak out against Buffalo. I actually picked the Buffalo in the game in my picks last week.
It's a trap.
Yeah. But I think this team's in stealth mode. They're just trying to survive the January. And I think and based on last year, what they did, winning all 3 games on the road, going to the Super Bowl, and all that, I think this team, they know who they are. They know when it's time to show up for the big one. And they got that guy at number 12, leading your team. It's a good spot to be in. I mean, let's be real.
Well, sure ain't bad.
You just got to see how good Green Bay is in the playoffs and other teams in that conversation. All right, number one's for each of both of us, right?
Yeah, he's finally got himself together on the go fuck yourself revenge tour. Give me Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Yep, as our boy Kyle Nash says, Aaron Charlie Rodgers, number one as well. Now, should we be concerned about that toe though? Because he said that toe hurts more.
No, I wouldn't be worried about it because he's going to play through it.
Right.
And I trust I trust his decision making enough hurt or not more than some of the other quarterbacks in this top 10. I mean, if we're ranking quarterbacks in this top 10, I'm probably taking 1, maybe 2 over him, even though he's hurt.
Right.
So, I mean, no, I'm good with the toe injury. If anything, it might mean that he does not scramble more, giving guys a little bit more of an opportunity to maybe get open and make plays.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm more on maybe this will help.
Right. All right, we got going. Stat 5, 28-32. Let's go. 28. What you
got? Give me I don't know who's going to play quarterback for us this week. It might be PJ Walker. It might be Cam Newton led Carolina Panthers.
Wow, what a tank job to the Panthers.
So bad. No Christian McCaffrey. We can see how bad that team really is.
I'm going to tell you right now that my Stat 5 is pretty much the same as last week. Same teams. 28 Giants. 29?
Jets.
Jets as well. 29. 30?
Jaguars.
Me too. 31?
Lions.
This time went Texans. Then 32? Texans, of course, right?
Yeah.
I went Lions this time. Yeah. You can make a case for the Bears. Although I will say they played pretty good in the first half in that game.
I had the Bears at 28 last week, and I contemplated leaving them there, but their first half is just so much better than whatever the fuck Matt Rule is doing in Carolina right now. So, yeah, and anyone who wanted to believe the hype train that, quote, Cam Newton was back because he had 2 rushing touchdowns against the Arizona Cardinals, yeah, he's back. He's back to being mediocre and not being able to throw a fucking 8-yard out route.
Wait, mediocre? You're being nice about that. He's been fucking
I got scolded whenever I said that fucking New England made the right decision of letting him go because he can't throw an 8-yard out route. They're like, yeah, he can. He's proven that he can't. So all those people that were sitting there giving me shit that fucking Cam Newton can still be a serviceable NFL quarterback, at this point, Colin Kaepernick would be a better option.
Ooh. Wow. Well, I say as a guy who loves Cam Newton, as a big fan of his, a game the moniker Cam Swag back in 2012, 2013, he is done, ski buddy. He is done.
Yeah, he's throwing a football like a wet pool noodle.
Yeah, he's done. I think he's done being a quarterback in the league in general. Forget backup.
He should be. He should retire and go become like a coordinator like Alabama or Auburn.
Right. Anyway, Mikey, we'll see you on Thursday on Take 3, of course.
Oh, yeah.
We do more of the wrestling stuff. Follow me on Twitter, of course, at They Call Me Burn. And I guess we'll see you Thursday.
All right,
buddy. Later.
Later.
To the game report. I'm Ash. How effing Ash.
You know, taking the opportunity to actually listen to the Football is Awesome podcast more often here. Like, to transition out of you doing the power rankings to you know, and like there's the thing and whatever transition and then like, oh, I guess it's my segment.
Yeah. It's the same order every week too. It's Mikey B. Well, it's my home open. It's Mikey B. It's you. It's Zach.
Yeah. I happened to be listening to the mid-season grades episode and listening to your power rankings that week, and boy, I was right about a lot of stuff, and you weren't. Anyway.
So far as I went 5-0 on my picks, 5-0 this weekend, I'm gonna keep bragging about that.
5-0. EJ, did you plead a fifth?
Anyway,
Hey, we found one way that Joe Flacco was good. He could plead a fifth.
Yeah. Who said that one? Ooh.
He was number 5, just so everybody knows what I'm doing there. I don't celebrate Joe Flacco. He is or never was elite. No, that's not me going after anybody in particular.
He had an elite moment or elite moments. That's it. As far as it goes for me.
I would even argue we shouldn't have even seen those because Raheem Morris blowing that safety coverage which shouldn't have even happened because of a horrible call on a pass interference that wasn't called. That was a interception that Peyton Manning allegedly threw. But no one wants to talk about that.
Game, right? The divisional game against the Broncos in 2012.
Yes, very strong. Well done. Well done.
Done. A long time ago. Kyle, I think the Chiefs are back.
No. Okay, hold on.
And you guys talking
because let me be clear about something. First of all, you and your arrogant ass bringing this right out of the gate is the first thing we cover. I don't want to do this to you, EJ.
Well, it is the title of this fucking podcast, this week's podcast. Football's awesome.
Football. Oh,
Chiefs are back.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Yes.
And I don't even cuss on this show that much, but like that doesn't.
Well, by the way, I almost always put the Chiefs are back, Jim. I almost did it, dude. I was so close to putting Jim's name in there because I told him if he falls off, I'll check. It's the best.
You're dying on the wrong hill there. First of all, if you're going to take shots at Jim of the Huddle Up podcast, you need to make sure that you're telling him about asking him about how well his Bears are doing. Anyways,
that's true.
So here's the thing you're suffering from right now, EJ Christian, and I know you know this anomaly because I explained it to you on a particular night a few weeks back on the Huddle Up podcast, if I remember correctly. Bing! You, me, and the Huddle Up podcast edition of AJ Hawk and Matt all agreed that the top 4 teams were in the college football playoff appropriately. Yes, right?
Correct.
What was the only problem I had with the segment? Do you remember? That's a no. Okay. It was the way that Jim posed the question. He said, did the committee get it right? I said, the committee didn't get it right. Their hands were forced. This applies to your crazy, the Chiefs are back take. It's not so much that the Chiefs are back. And I'm not impressed with the Chiefs doing to the Raiders what they did no more than I am by the Titans shutting out the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who cares? Neither of them currently have a head coach right now. Oh, snap, he said it. It's not so much that the Chiefs are back or are doing well, is that all the moving trucks have just decided to leave all their old stuff on the lawn because they're sick of hearing about you talking about it. And what I mean by that is, look at all the teams that are just falling apart and giving them opportunities, right? Mm-hmm. Like, can we please talk a minute about, like, you could take a handful of games where Patrick Mahomes' numbers are right awful, and a handful of games, like this past Sunday's, where he's otherworldly, okay? He's got 2 games against a coachless Raiders team. That's 2 of his wins. Not impressive, okay? I'm sure those numbers are great, in the words of Tony the Tiger, okay? I'm sure his numbers against the Denver Broncos, phenomenal. But when he faces somebody else worth even a fraction of a damn, a team you've written off in the Los Angeles Chargers, which you're still foolhardy to do that, I might add.
Well, they're number 8 this week.
Oh, yeah. And how did their first matchup go against the Chargers?
Well, they beat the Chiefs.
Say it.
They beat the Chiefs.
Okay. Now, the Chiefs do have an opportunity to help their ability to be back. This week, I believe they play each other.
Correct. This week.
Is this week? Okay. I don't have the schedule in front of me yet. I really should.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the Thursday night game this week. Yes, it is. So we'll know very soon.
So, yeah. It is this week. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, hopefully I could fit some time in to watch that, while setting up to cover the Cure Bowl here in Orlando for the 3-point conversion. Bing! Yeah.
He says shit now with his bings now.
Hey, it's the most successful Bing you've ever heard because it beats the hell out of that lame search engine Microsoft released. Am I right? Boom!
Oh!
Oh! Where's my Ed McMahon? Hi-oh!
You are correct, sir.
But I'm not going to sit here and crap all over the Chiefs. I just think you're way too excited about it. That's your problem. You know what I mean? Like, listen.
I think the reason I'm excited about it is I'm actually really excited about it because there are obviously concerns for the Chiefs. I still see there the inconsistencies on offense. I acknowledge that. This is more of a play on the fact that I got so much shit for the first 5 weeks that why are they still in power rankings by being 2 and 3? Why this and that?
Because they belong there. The only reason that that I'm not going to give you a hard time if you put them in the top 10, which I only guess you have. I didn't look at it yet this week, but because I knew it was going to be a dumpster fire, whatever you did. I knew you were going to overhype the Chiefs, and you were going to, tag some other moron who doesn't know anything about football to try to debate me about stuff.
I got shit on having the Pats and Cowboys too high this week.
Okay, well, where were the Cowboys is my first question.
7.
That's not terrible.
Yeah,
I would probably put them closer to 10, but I could live with 7. Where do you have the Pats?
At 4. It's like last week.
How's the guy go? If the Pats are the rent is too damn high. 4th? Are you high? Anyway.
Too high, right?
There you listen, Snoop Dogg can't get this high on all of his chronic, okay? Jesus. 4th? What the hell, Clyde? It's Matt Jones, not Superman. Jesus. Anyway.
We'll open the Chiefs real quick. I last night's game against the Monday night game, Cardinals and Rams.
Yeah.
No, the Rams obviously the Cardinals have had the best record most of the year in the league.
Yeah.
But there's always been this narrative that they're good, they could be great, and maybe they're really, really good, but I don't trust them kind of thing. Now, not saying I said this.
Who has said that?
There's been some people saying I don't know if they'll win the NFC.
No, maybe so. I haven't heard them.
I've heard a lot of that. And you have a game like the Green Bay game, week 8 when they lost to Green Bay. The Packers didn't have their best player, not named Aaron Rodgers, in that game. Then last night they lose at home again, also to the Rams. Who the Rams end up losing 2 key players, last minute to the COVID and Jalen Ramsey and Alec Higby. When you see those things, it plays into that narrative a little bit.
I think what it really is people did have their questions surrounding Kyler Murray being hurt. And those are legitimate concerns. But if you didn't think the Rams didn't have at least a puncher's chance, you're bad at football. I mean, what the hell have you been watching? If you were so sure, Kyler Murray had 2 interceptions, and the Rams didn't have Jalen Ramsey. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you see, you're looking at this all wrong. It's not so much that the Rams beat the Cardinals, EJ Christian.
Right.
It's that Kyler Murray threw 2 picks, and you only beat them by 7. Right?
Fair point.
So, at the end of the day, again, I've not heard the people who are like, and by the way, Kyler Murray, you're leading frickin' rusher in yards, but please come at me and tell me Tom Brady's the damn MVP. What a stupid narrative that is.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice little segue because the MVP race now. I mean, I've been saying most of the year that Lamar Jackson is the front runner, and I think I'm still there right now.
He's still the front runner, but if you want to argue the gap is closing, I will support it.
Who would be the person that's closing the gap?
I got 2 or 3 I'm thinking of. Okay. One is I need to reopen the briefcase and wonder to myself why I'm not talking more about Aaron Charlotte Rodgers as a possibility. Mostly because he has, actual running backs on his squad and wide receivers. That's why. Mm-hmm. But and a weaker division, obviously.
Yeah.
But at some point, the level of dominance has to be a factor, right? It's one thing to tactically be everything and everywhere. Huntley came on the field and still nearly beat the Browns. I mean, yeah, of course it's the Browns, but I mean, at the end of the day, can you argue that Lamar Jackson being on the field would have made a difference? Yeah, but it didn't look like it right then, And
the Browns are really, to be honest, at the end of the day.
Say again?
which really it says more about the Browns at the end of the day.
And what is that?
That they are not good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're not as good as we thought they were.
You mean as they, Browns fans, thought they were. Granted, if I remember correctly, I had them at least one game out of missing the playoffs, or might have even have them. I don't have my notes here. I wish I could look that up, but
we're going to locks in a second, though. So we'll get.
But yeah, no, being this bad, I mean, they've already lost 6 games, haven't they? Like, I would not have guessed that.
7-6. They're in the mix. I mean, obviously in the wildcard mix, but it does feel like it's a disappointing year, obviously.
Okay, but they're only in the mix because there's an extra playoff game an extra playoff spot and an extra regular season game. Okay, I mean, the playoffs. Anyways, it's like the Eastern Conference in the NBA, for Christ's sake.
Well, the East is better this year.
Now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So who would be the names? You say Aaron Rodgers would be the closest person to Lamar Jackson in that list?
Aaron Rodgers.
Jonathan Taylor?
And Jonathan Taylor, very good. And
Tom Brady, huh?
No Tom Brady. That guy has literally – the only person who has more help on his roster than Tom Brady is Kyler Murray.
Fair point. Fair point there. It really is.
And actually, you know what? I could argue actually that Tom Brady does have more help because I'll put it this way. Old man Tom, long in the tooth Tom there, ain't never going to be leading his team in rushing yards like Kyler bleeping Murray.
Fair point. We do get Saturday football this week again. This week. Got some intriguing games coming this week. Most notably, the AFC. Well, they're all AFC games actually. Think about it, but especially the one with significant wildcard playoff implications here. Pats at Colts.
Yeah, no, huge, definitely huge. EJ Christian, huge. Only thing huger will be the games upcoming between the Pats and the Bills, in my opinion. But continue.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm there with Tennessee now. They passed the Jaguars test this week. They'll get the 10 wins.
They didn't pass no damn test. They were okay. Again, we had this covered.
I know.
Anyway,
I did say to you last week though, the bad number is 10. They get the 10 wins, which they're going to get now. Win one more game in the next 4, like you're locked to win the AFC South, no matter how you slice it, and they're going to get there. Somebody
on this microphone wrote an article previewing the AFC South for the 3-point conversion, bing, and had them winning 11 games. And one of them is Week 17 against the Texans. Just saying.
Yeah. Now, this Colts game's huge because we're talking about the schedules and the Colts. I think with the
schedule's awful. Yeah,
it's a little rough. But if they get through this game here, it can open up some things here. And they're at home. So it helps. But you like this game? You like?
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a fun one to watch. And considering these two teams match up better than you think. And to be honest, I kind of feel like Bill Belichick is in position to abuse Carson Wentz here.
Do you have the Pats?
I do because while Jonathan Taylor might be an MVP candidate, at the end of the day, Mac Jones is more reliable at this point. You got to think. Anyways.
Almost by default in a sense because of who's controlling the controls.
Well.
That guy. Hoodie. You want to go locks now?
Let's see. I'm trying to make sure there's not something else where, I appreciate you touching on the MVP topic. That was cool. Oh, by the way.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Is it difficult for you to have to respect the 49ers?
No, I actually told Mike earlier on the segment that, if I said, I think I'm there. I think they're a lock now. I think if anything.
You lie. Sorry.
No,
I was trying to make it like you were a president.
This way, and we'll get to it in a second. Let's start NFC real quick because right now, if the playoffs start today, and we love doing this segment because it gives a chance to break down everything right now that's going on in the playoff picture. If this phone would actually fucking work properly real quick, I can get this up right.
You don't even use. Come on, you're using your phone to look at. Good God.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to fuck my computer again because that happened earlier today. So that's
yeah. Well, side note, I'll give you this much credit. The good news is the Titans are no longer the guaranteed number 1 seed. The bad news is somehow or another The Chiefs, Pats, and Titans are the three-way tie for the AFC. Good God.
Yeah.
This is what parity looks like, folks. Hold on, guacamole.
Tennessee has home field, has the head-to-head advantage because of, they beat the Chiefs earlier in the year. So.
Oh yeah, further proof that the Chiefs aren't back. Sorry, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm terrible.
Let's start NFC again because NFC, of course, is like we say.
Yes, please.
Although it is fascinating. It is fascinating from 6 through like 11 and 12. NFC's North, of course, is the Packers. NFC South, Buccaneers. NFC West, right now the Cardinals. NFC East, of course, the Dallas Cowboys, which pretty much wrapped things up. They got the winning against Washington. The 5 seed right now is the LA Rams, which is obviously a lock. He's 6 seeded now. All of a sudden, the Niners 7-6, and then you got a 5-way tie at 6 and 7 between the Washington Football Team, the Minnesota Vikings, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Atlanta Falcons, and the New Orleans Saints. I will say this much though. I'm not going to count the Panthers. They're out of it now. They're done.
I agree.
Seattle's only a game behind, and because of that quarterback they got there, I would not count them out this yet.
Oh, look at this guy who just 2 weeks ago had him in the bottom 5 in the goddamn league with that same quarterback. Now, you never know.
Well, Russell,
you respect Russell Carrington. I did it again.
Russell Cantankerous?
Yes, Russell Carrington Wilson, you son of a.
Beep. No, but he's played better the last couple weeks too. They caught a nice win in the schedule too, especially. They beat San Francisco last week. How about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, they weren't playing anyone impressive this week. What was it? Wasn't the Texans?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Chief.
But right now, obviously, we all agree the division winners are going to be the division winners. Although I will say the Arizona thing got a little interesting now because the Rams are only a game behind now.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, that the Rams evening it up is going to make it interesting. But if I remember correctly, the conference record for the Rams is problematic.
Right. So no matter what, Cardinals and Rams will get in the playoffs, whether it's wild card or not. So the big kerfuffle really is the NFC Wildcard Race. There's 2 spots now. Obviously, now we're taking 7 to the playoffs now instead of 6. I'm there. I'm already there. I'm locking in San Francisco.
Wow.
By the
way, side note, I have to correct myself. It's not the conference record that's problematic for the Rams. It is the division record. Okay. The Rams are still half a game down.
Yeah, the 2-2 in division. Arizona's 4-1 currently in division.
A game and a half down, I should say. Beg your pardon.
Still pretty close on his record, though.
Right.
But I'll be honest with you. Like, I'll lock San Francisco, honestly. I of these bunch of fucking 6 and 7 teams, whatever, the most faith I have really is, the 7-6. I don't see any teams passing San Francisco at this point. I just don't see it.
Well, the Falcons have a unique opportunity because they play each other, and I have a feeling that for the first time in weeks, Danny Thompson will actually text me if his team wins. But
that's great.
No, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's great. Hey, what about anyways? I could throw him in this week. What about all that money you owed me? But he doesn't owe me money.
Yeah,
I am cautiously optimistic in the 49ers in my own way. And that's where I'm going to leave it. There's no more analysis than that. Like at this point, everyone's continuing to crap on Garoppolo, and he's still doing things like, I mean, listen, at this point, DJ Khaled has got to be on this guy's playlist. Actually, no, it's probably his alarm to wake up in the morning. All I do is win, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the irony of it is him playing the Falcons this weekend, I'm going to analogize him to Matt Ryan. No, I'm not going to call him Matty Ice. No one he didn't deserve Matty Ice even before the 28-3 debacle. Jimmy Garoppolo is a good and capable starter in this league, Ernest Christian. He's just not going to be a Hall of Famer. If your requirement as a GM is to have Matt Stafford or better at the quarterback position, then you need to move off of Jimmy G. and you never should have paid him that in the first place. Okay.
Right.
However, like Matt Ryan, he is too good to actually replace unless you have a guy. Whether Trey Lance is that guy, completely another question. And while people are calling out that pick, there was a pick made a while back, Ernest Christian. That was Drew Brees in San Diego. Yes, it was still San Diego at the time. Everyone was in an uproar that they picked up this kid, Phillip Rivers. And lo and behold, worked out all right. Just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, of course. And look, I'm looking at this kerfuffle, I keep calling it.
Kerfuffle. Is it frisky?
It's frisky. It's pretty frisky. Washington, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Atlanta, New Orleans. Who really wants it more at this point? This is where the schedule really comes into effect here.
I agree.
I look at Washington's schedule. Lost to Dallas, of course. They have a fairly easy schedule. I'll say easy, but the rest of the way is all NFC East teams. We discussed it on the podcast last week.
It is not frisky. It lacks frisk.
Right. It's 2 Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys. So we can assume the Dallas game might be a loss because it's in Dallas. I don't think they're going to be Dallas. Eagles could be a split.
Which works for the Cowboys, frankly.
Right. The Giants.
Yeah.
It's
a good thing you aren't a Giants fan.
Yeah, it's a good thing, right? Shoot. I'm not offended at all. Minnesota I have trust issues with.
Bro.
You got the Bears. 2 Bears, a Rams, and a Packers.
That's a horrible name for a sitcom.
Yeah. The point is it's going to schedule. And this is why I think you can't count out Seattle just yet. Seattle does have a Rams, do have a Cardinals on the schedule as well too, but they also have the Bears and the Packers. No, the Bears and the Lions on the schedule too. So, they could hypothetically still go, I would say 3-1.
And you know what? If the Seahawks make the playoffs, it won't matter anyway because they're going to lose in the first round and they still rob Russell Wilson of the MVP.
Yeah. I'm not ruling them out at all. So obviously, I'll lock San Francisco. I think of all these teams, they're the biggest grown-up team in this whole spot here. So I'll go to San Francisco. All right.
I believe I had them locked last week.
I thought you did. Yeah. And Minnesota, I mean, they're good enough, yes.
More like Minnesota.
But every time you start buying in Minnesota, what happens? They start to fucking do the thing that, they always do.
Bruh, I warned you. I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
Yes. And it was the last week against Pittsburgh, too. Remember that game? Oh, my God. That was horrible. All right, AFC right now, your division leaders right now. AFC East leaders, New England Patriots 9-4. AFC South, the Tennessee Titans 9-4 as well, too. AFC West 9-4, Kansas City Chiefs. And the Baltimore Ravens and AFC North at 8-5. Right now, your 3 wild cards right now as started. 5 seed the Chargers, 6 seed the Colts, and 7 seed still hanging on by a thread, the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Does this hold?
No.
What changes here?
The Colts are going to fall out. I've been tried and true on this from moment one. By the way, how about those Chargers, mother beep? Anyway.
They've actually, and it's funny that Bengals win last week. It's huge now.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bengals' only problem is that they ran into the 49ers, apparently. Holy snap.
Almost won that game anyway.
Yeah, another overtime game. I am kind of convinced that Joe Burrow's finger was an issue, but, if you ask Jacksonville, not as much as Urban Meyer. Hi-yo! Anyways.
Hi-yo!
No, but the Browns are a joke, okay? They're only there because Lamar got hurt, and I ain't even thinking about the Browns. The Browns will have to get to 9 wins before I even try to take them seriously. I know the Bengals will get to 9 wins, so I will take them seriously soon at some point. However, I don't think 9 wins get you the gusto here. All the Bills have to do is not get a northeastern win against the Pats, and they're going to win that football game. That Mother Nature has altered the course of the Bills in this one. Not to mention that they haven't helped themselves any bit by the bleeping way. Losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars right now is showing its teeth in a very special fashion. Right?
They're two right now. They're two back in the division now, Buffalo.
Yeah. And I'll put it this way: if the Patriots win, they've locked the division, in my opinion. Yeah. There's at the end of the day, the Colts don't hold, and it's not because the Colts aren't good. It's not that they don't have the potential. The Colts, it's the schedule, and the Browns are going to fall off because they're the Browns and GTFO.
So,
yeah,
the Chargers have gotten, the last couple wins they've gotten it's saved their season definitely. Look at the schedule. I look at it now. Do I want to lock them at this point? I don't know. But you got KC this week on Thursday Night Football. If they already beaten KC once already, so and they can do it again. They win this game. I'm locking them up because the next 3 games are Texans.
Well, we know how you feel about the Chiefs too.
Right.
Doesn't even hesitate.
Yeah, Texans, Broncos, and Raiders.
I mean, hey, you're already an FSU fan allegedly. You know how to do the chop, right?
Oh, he bitch. Anyway.
Oh, he bitch. Now I'm just confused.
Yeah, now I'm all frisky. Yeah, if they win this weekend, it's a lock for them. Pats, Titans, Chiefs, that's over. I'm locking them up for the division winners. The Colts is a strange one because I feel like there's of all these teams here in this wildcard bunch, 7-6 bunch. You got 5 teams, 7-6. Colts, Bills, Browns, Bengals, Broncos.
Yeah,
they're the best, probably the best or second best of this bunch. But the schedule works against them.
Really? Whoa. So you're declaring them better than the Bills, are you?
The Bills will be that other team that best or second best of that bunch.
Okay. So you're declaring the Colts to be a better football team than the Bengals and the Browns.
Correct.
That's asinine. But the only reason you're going to be right by default is because the Bengals are in a much tougher division.
Right. But, I will say if Lamar Jackson was not available for next week, it's open season. Because they say he's going to be able to play next week most likely. And because he's able to play, they're able to.
What percent is he is a whole other question, right?
I haven't said it yet, but I have faith in the MVP.
Oh, of course you do. No, you're not a raging idiot like somebody who thinks Tom Brady should be the MVP.
Here's the issue with the Ravens going forward, though.
Yes.
The schedule. What's about tough schedule? They got a tough schedule. You're in order. Here we go. Packers, Bengals, Rams, Steelers.
The Rams suddenly looks tougher than we thought it was last week, right? But here's the thing. I feel like it's funny. Lamar Jackson can either neutralize Aaron Donald or Aaron Donald could be a big problem. I don't know which it is yet. Jalen Ramsey, who cares? They don't have a receiver. What part of their game involves receivers? Are you going to put him on the tight end? Because other than that, I don't care about Jalen Ramsey. Do you care? I don't care about Jalen Ramsey in that game.
In the Florida State, though, but the only reason I care about him.
Oh, and he's a good corner. He was excellent when he played for the Jags across from A.J. Boye. I get it. But in a game where a receiver is not a factor, why do I care? So it's interesting to analyze that game. That's all. I'm excited about it.
That schedule definitely is a little scary for Baltimore going forward, though. I will say that on paper.
Sure. And if you look at the Bengals, their schedule isn't all that simple in and of itself. So, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the Colts have the most difficult schedule of the remaining. Totally get it. But the Bengals and the Ravens in their own right do not have simple action there. And we talk about locks and stuff, EJ. I think we're not testing enough credit to the fact that there are 4 weeks left and any of these teams could still melt down.
Yeah. Bengals have Broncos, Ravens, Chiefs, Browns to end the year.
I mean,
yeah.
Does that sound easy to you?
Nope. I'm looking at other teams. And so that's the thing. If the Colts can still hang on, say they lose this game to New England, but they can win the next couple games after that. Because the toughest game for the Colts is this week.
Yeah.
If they win this week, I feel much better the chances to get in. Because
obviously.
You play Arizona, who's, okay, at this point, not as scary as you thought they are. They're still
gone. Come on, dude.
If they at least split this next 2, between New England and Arizona, I'm feeling good about the Colts making the playoffs.
Now that is a good analysis, right?
Because you against the Raiders and the Jaguars.
Because the Colts have to go 3-1, and the Ravens have to split.
Because also, Raiders will quit. Raiders will quit already. They're done. The Jaguars, you know.
But Chiefs are back, EJ.
They're back.
I love it when you make my argument for me. Chiefs, Raiders will quit. Yeah, dumbass. I've been trying to tell you that on text all week.
The only other team really looking forward that's outside that bubble right now that could make a run last minute, but they got to win out. So the schedule does helps them out is the Dolphins.
Stop it.
The only game behind.
Stop. I know they're your newest adopted fanhood that isn't. Actually, no, it's newer than the Chiefs. But stop it. I know you live in the same city as Dan Le Batard, and you got to do that whole thing. You run your podcast like Dan Le Batard show. That's great. Stop it with the damn Dolphins. Just stop it.
Well, I look at the schedule. Jets, Saints, Titans, and Patriots. And that Patriots game, the Pats may not even need that game by then. We'll see.
First of all, if you're a Dolphins fan, yes, you're hoping the Pats don't need that game. I agree. But Bill Belichick will still crush Tua Tagovailoa with a game plan. That's a fact.
Also, don't forget that game's down Miami, and the Pats, even with Brady, have always given the Pats problems.
There you go. That's where it starts to get shady. And it's not so much that they give Bill Belichick an issue. I believe actually, no. No, that's true, because even with Castle was the starter that year, after Brady got hurt, Miami gave him a hard time. But this is not the days of Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor on the same defensive front with Patrick Surtain helping to save the day. No, sir. Okay. Not so much that offensive line has been in free fall since the Jonathan Martin scandal, but I digress.
But anyway, I'm locking the 3 to 4 division winners. I'm not locking Baltimore just yet. I'm on the verge, though, locking the Chargers if they win this week, especially.
In the words of John McClane, welcome to the party, pal.
They're back.
Oh, no, they never left. Your dumbass just went to get some punch.
But, dude, they got a little weird the last couple of weeks before they went this little run. So that's...
Ernest Christian, buddy. And I'm saying this to you because when I point this out, you're going to kick yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
How flippin' awkward has football just been in general? College and the NFL likewise. Everyone has some crazy, frisky BS that happened in their season, dude.
Word. Is that word? I love it.
I did that just to tell you the argument, so there's no way you could tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not.
No, it's been a strange year across the board of anything football. I agree.
So I think that's the one failing you struggle with in your top 10 at times is you don't account for the fact that they had a really bad so-and-so. Guess what, buddy? Everybody's had a really bad so-and-so all damn 2021.
That's why projecting is always widely on, especially with trust. And Chiefs, I trust the Chiefs.
The only thing you project is your hatred on the 49ers and the Ravens, bitch. I said it.
That's all historically. It is. Deal with it. Plug away.
A, that's what she said.
Yes.
B, the power of Niners have compelled you. Actually, I think you're doing it just to jinx them. That's my conspiracy theory. Anyway.
Well, no.
Anyways, of course, I am Kyle Nash, doing the game. You can find me on Twitter at the SOTG. You can find me on Instagram. It's the same, the SOTG. Find my work in various places. For one, normally we also have the Huddle Up podcast this week. And, of course, Jim definitely canceled it so that EJ couldn't talk more smack about the Chiefs. Good God. What a tool. Bing! No. Of course, check out my work forget also my podcast for pop culture and movies with my good friend Demosthenes Euclid with Hilarity by Default. Check it out on YouTube, the Hilarity by Default YouTube channel. If you don't watch videos like EJ, you might miss it, but I tell you what, it's a good time, I promise. Check out my work, of course, covering the UCF Knights football and basketball programs. That's men and women's basketball, by the way. On the Black and Gold Banneret, of course, I will be covering bowl games, including UCF facing off against Florida on the 23rd at the Gasparilla Bowl. I will be covering the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers taking on Northern Illinois in the Cure Bowl this Friday for the 3-point conversion, as well as 2 other bowls we're eyeballing here. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, last but certainly not least, my work covering the Jacksonville Jaguars, not only with the 3pointconversion.com, but my friend Captain Chris Hill at oldschool101.com and A7BN Sports. Ha! One of these times I want you to be writing all that down, because if I ask you what I do and where I do it, you have no idea.
It's a reverse end of the episode.
Exactly. And there's something else we say for the end of the episode, because it's something you need to do and be ready for every week. Class dismissed.
All right, it is EJ versus Degenerate, week number 15, with the Degenerate, of course, Zach. Zach, what's up?
What's up?
All of a sudden, 2 weeks in a row, you win. You win big.
Back to par now.
Yep. We're back to even. So we're even now with 4 weeks to go. Now, I guess the question now is this. Do we want to end this after week 18? Do we want to continue to the playoffs? Or does it make any sense to go to the playoffs because it's less games?
Yeah, I guess so.
Want to end after week 18, end it?
Yeah, unless we need
tiebreakers.
What? Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll play by ear, I guess, when we get there, because we end up tied. Again, that's cool.
Yeah, if we had to worry about the tiebreaker, we'll figure something out.
Right. All right.
But I don't see that happening.
Also, we'll have a quick FSU minute, because we actually have an FSU news that came down the pike today, which I'm sure you'll react to in a second. Let's get to the Thursday night game first. Cause, dude, I looked at the schedule while doing the picks. There's some good games here, actually. Some pretty.
Oh, yeah.
And it starts on Thursday night. The Kansas City Chiefs, my number 3 team on Power Rankings this week, heading to LA to face the Chargers. The Chiefs are 3-point favorites. The over-under is 52 points. They are back, Zach. They are back. Are they?
Oh, man. Their defense says they are. Their defense says they are back.
Okay.
So
I'm getting a lot of shit for that, though, saying they're back. So, I don't know. And you know what? I'm going to keep it rolling. I'm going to take the Chiefs here on the road.
I'm just going to take the over.
I
I don't want to jinx the Chiefs. I was pretty proud. I was pretty strong on the Chargers, so.
Yeah, you were.
I really don't want to pick either team, so I'll take the easy way out and take the over.
I'll say this much. If the Chargers win this game and sweep the Chiefs, number one, the Chargers will be in first place in the AFC West, number one, for starters. But number two, they're officially locked to the playoffs, in my opinion, at this point.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't see how they would lose with tiebreakers at that point with wins in the conference.
Right. But I feel like, well, even the teams behind them, that 7-6 game behind them, I feel like they'll have more distance ahead of those teams at this point. So you got the over, I have the Chiefs. Okay, next game here, 1 o'clock. Oh, Saturday games now. Saturday games. Las Vegas Raiders heading to Cleveland to face the Browns. The Browns are 3-point favorites. The over-under is 40. Raiders have quit. Raiders are done. They just quit.
I don't want to believe it. Not against Baker.
The Browns. Look, the Browns almost lost. We got to the bar the other day, me, you, and Chris at the bar, and we left the bar and what was it like 24-3 or 6? What the fuck it was?
Oh my God, yes.
And I get home and I all of a sudden seen the score. Like, wait, they came back. And
we watched 2 blowout games, which I get the food's great there, but God, that's a correct place to watch a game.
Yeah, we got to the Chris about that. The brass ring. Yeah. Nice play, nice food. TV's a little bit suspect. I think I gotta go with the Buffalo Wild Wings next time. Just for the aesthetics.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm the Browns. I'm taking over this game. I trust the Browns. I don't trust any of these two teams. Take the over. Fuck it.
I still will take the under in this game. It's the Browns.
Baker Mayfield. We'll see what happens there. All right, the last Saturday game here. This might be a game of the week, actually. The New England Patriots head to Indianapolis with the Colts. The Colts are 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45.5. I had a birdie tell me that the under's a lock here.
I could agree. I really could.
Big game for the Colts here, though.
Huh?
Big game for the Colts here, especially for the wild card.
If the Colts win this game, they are for real.
Yes.
They have to be taken serious.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the under, though, because I don't know who to trust more.
I am, too.
Taking the under. Okay, next game here. You have the Carolina Panthers heading to Buffalo to face the fading Buffalo Bills, who are holding on to the number 7 playoff spot in the AFC right now by a thread. The Bills are 10.5-point favorites. The over-under is 43.5. I think Buffalo bounces back now. Fine. It's been last rough couple of weeks. They almost came out beat Tampa this week. I think they come back and smell blood. Carolina's done, dude. Cam Newton sucks. He's done. Give me Buffalo win big.
I agree with you. Maybe they'll actually attempt a running game early in the first quarter to show the public, hey, we heard you. But either way, this should be a cakewalk game for them at this point.
I agree. All right, next game here we have the New York Jets heading to Miami to face the Dolphins. The Dolphins, who are red hot, come off a bye week, are 9-point favorites. The over-under is 42 points. I'm going to go ahead and stay with the heat, man. The Dolphins on the roll, and the schedule's getting easier. They stay on the gas. Dolphins cover.
Man, I thought I finally figured out this take the points. It's so many points, take the points. I thought I figured out your system.
Yeah,
it's a division game. Neither team scores a lot of points.
But certain teams, though, don't get that side of respect, and the Jets are one of those teams.
Oh, my gosh. Give me the Jets plus the points.
Wow, okay, we'll see. Whew, here we go. This is your game. The Washington football team heading to Philadelphia to face the Eagles. The Eagles are right now 4.5-point favorites. The over-under is 44 points. This is easy for me. This is a huge game. And by the way, the Washington football team, they're winning 4 games, all NFC East teams. Eagles twice, Giants, and Cowboys. So, yeah. You guys should be able to win at least 2 games going forward. I'm taking the under this one.
No way of an under. No way.
Over?
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
Well, first off, I mean, we score like 20 points no matter who we play.
Right.
So, if the Eagles were to cover, boom, you got your over right there already.
Right.
So, if it's a shootout, you're going to get the over. If it's overtime, you're probably getting an over.
Here's the question, though. Is it Minshew or was it Hurts this week? That's the question.
Man, I hope it's not Minshew.
All right. I got the under and you get the over. Okay, next game here we have the Arizona Cardinals heading to Detroit to face the Lions. The Cardinals on the road are 13.5-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5 points. I'm seeing some troubling signs of the Cardinals right now. I'm seeing troubling signs. You played a Rams team that literally lost Jalen Ramsey and Alex Higbee to COVID literally hours for the game, and you let them punk you in your stadium like that? Come on.
Look, I kind of think Jalen Ramsey's a little bit overrated personally. I see him get burned all the time because he's out there trying to gamble and trying to make a big play, but I see him screw up all the time.
This is a lot of fucking points, though. 13 points on the road. Give me Detroit in the points here.
Dude, Detroit's done. As soon as they got that win, that was it for the season. They are done for the season. Give me Arizona to cover. As long as everyone ends up being allowed to play with how COVID's going around all of a sudden, if their starters make it onto the field, Arizona covers big.
All right, we'll see what happens there. All right, here we go. My game. The Dallas Cowboys heading to New York to face the Giants. The Cowboys are 10.5-point favorites. The over-under is 44.5. This is easy. The Giants lose every game, please. Let's go. Keep going. Keep going to the losing streak. Give me Dallas to win. Dallas cover. Don't care. Do not care.
Dude, it's your team.
Don't
They're
care.
getting 10 plus points.
You think I care? You think I care? They suck. Goodbye, Dave Gettleman.
Man.
Thinking Giants?
I was, but now I think I might stick with Dallas. Maybe I'll jinx them this time.
All right, next game here, we have the Tennessee Titans heading to Pittsburgh, face the Steelers. The Titans are 1.5 point favorites. The over-under is 41.5. They got some good news this week on Derrick Henry. He may be back for the playoffs.
That'll be huge news.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think they can pretty much lock a ticket in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was saying last week that the best number to get the playoffs was almost 10, and they're one away from that. So, give me the underdog in this game.
Give me Tennessee.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I think Pittsburgh's done.
You think so? I mean, you could be right.
This is the game right here.
All right, this way. Oh, here we go. The Houston Texans heading to Jacksonville with the Jaguars. That's the game right there. The Jaguars are 3-point favorites. The over-under is 39.5. Wow. No respect whatsoever. 3.5 points. Give me the over in this game. I see turnovers galore, pick sixes and everything, fumble sixes.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's just two bad teams.
Yeah.
They're gonna score points.
Yeah.
This is way too low, I think. So yeah, I'm with you. Take the over.
This is about probably a race for the number one's pick in the draft. All right. Here we go. 1 second. There it is. Cincinnati Bengals heading to Denver to face the Broncos. The Broncos are 1.5 point favorites. The over-under is 44 points. Denver's been frisky good all year long, man. They're hanging around.
I remember you writing them off a few times.
Yeah, I mean, they're 3-0 out the gate, but they beat the Jets, the Giants, and the fucking Jaguars. And then
those are powerhouse teams.
Powerhouse
Dallas does
shit.
that, and they're legit top 5 in your poll.
My bottom 5, I mean. But they've been hanging around, bud. They've been hanging around. But Cincy, I like the team. They should have beaten San Francisco this past week. That was a great finish. A sad finish for them, unfortunately. I think they turn around here. I think the Bengals finally win this game on the road. Give me Cincinnati win this game.
Spread is so low. I almost want to be with you, but I'm going to just take the over.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, we have the Atlanta Falcons heading to San Francisco face the Niners. The Niners right now are 9-point favorites. The over-under is 46 points. All of a sudden, the Niners are starting to firm themselves up now. They're now what I would say the lock 6th seed in the NFC right now.
Yeah, and I think I'm screwed on my over-under at this point. All they have to do is win like one more game.
They were 10, actually.
Oh, they were 10? Oh, then I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
So I won't feel bad about picking the 49ers this week.
They'll win the game, and Atlanta's in a race too. But I like Atlanta in the points.
No.
A lot of points. 9 points, a lot of points.
You know what I remember from your history with taking Atlanta in the points? You lose.
Yeah. You know my Falcons history. It's pretty bad. All right, next game here. This is a huge game. Green Bay Packers head to Baltimore to face the Ravens. The Packers are 5-point favorites. The over-under is 43.5. Call me crazy. I see a bounce back with Baltimore here. I really do. They're at home. It's Lamar's healthy to play. He's playing this week. That's what we're hearing. I can see one more Packer letdown. I could see that.
I see the Ravens getting destroyed on all-out blitzes. Like, Aaron Rodgers is going to eat them alive.
So the Packers cover?
Yeah, I think the Packers cover.
And the Ravens, they need this game. That schedule is fucking
brutal.
Dunkless. This is a must-win for the Ravens. I like Ravens in the points here, though. Maybe if they win, we'll see. But I got 1 point here. All right, we have the Seattle Seahawks heading to LA to face the Rams. The Rams are 6-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5. Call me crazy, but I would not count out Seattle yet in the wildcard race. The only game behind.
You literally wrote them off a week ago.
I did 2 weeks ago. But then I saw teams, all the fucking 6-7 teams lose last week. But most of them did.
I told you Russell Wilson wouldn't quit on his team.
That's true. I apologize, Russ.
Your GOAT.
My GOAT. That's right. Well, he's coming to New York next year. Give me the under.
No.
No Beckham this week too. No Beckham's out with COVID.
Oh crap.
So you have that plus the other two guys from last night.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not saying they may still win the game, but COVID.
And you know what? I'll take the over.
Okay. Here we go. I think it's Sunday Night Football. We have the New Orleans Saints heading to Tampa to face the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 10.5 point favorites. The over/under is 46 and a half points rather. I really want to take Tampa to cover. I think it's their best taking the over in this one.
I really want to take the Saints plus the points.
Plus 10. Wow.
I know.
They're not that good. They're, I mean, yeah, maybe the Jets, whatever. But
look, the one thing that Tampa can do is stop the run, and that's all the Saints got left.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Actually, no, I still think it's going to be an under. Under for the game, yeah.
31-10 game, I guess.
Yeah, 28-3.
Hmm.
And yet I won't take Tampa to cover. That's how bad I think the beatdown could be.
Right. Which is strange. I don't know why you wouldn't take Tampa to cover them if you think they're going to win going away.
Yeah, but I could also see it be like a
backdoor cover,
17-9 or something.
Oof. No, I don't see that. I don't see it. All right. Monday Night Football. Minnesota Vikings heading to Chicago face the Bears. The Vikings are 3.5 point favorites. The over/under is 44.5. This is gonna be a snoozer. This is the NBA League Pass night for me. This is the NBA League Pass night for me. Nah, I'm good on football, on Monday Night Football, but I'll take the under in this game though.
I'm gonna take the under too, but I'm gonna call a prediction in this game.
What's the prediction?
This would be a huge victory for the Vikings, right? Get to 500 in the NFC playoff picture. Kirk Cousins on a Monday night primetime game with what looks like a layup. An easy victory.
Who you taking?
I want to take the Bears and say the Bears win the game, but
so bad.
For our little thing going, I'm gonna be chicken and take the under in the game.
Oh, you caught me now.
We got enough different ones. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. We got a lot of different ones.
I could really see Kirk Cousins shit in the bed.
We almost did last week, not so much him, but the Vikings itself almost did it. I think we're out of buys now, right? No more buys this week?
Yeah, that felt like everybody.
Nope, that's everybody. No more buys. Buys are over. Out of style. Before we get going, yes, we teased it earlier on the top of the segment. We do have an FSU minute because of something that happened today. Your favorite coach in the whole world, Mike Norvell, got an extension through 2026. Huh?
First off, I thought his original contract was 4 or 5 years.
Me too.
So I thought 2023 or 2024. They gave this guy a 6-year contract to start with, and after 2 crappy seasons, they're like, you know what? He's shown us absolutely nothing. Let's give him another year. What the hell? Unless that was a way for them to escape paying him anything if they fire him after next season. I do not understand it.
What do they see that we don't see?
That's what I want to know. Holy hell.
If that was the case, they just cut Willie Taggart. Fuck it.
Willie Taggart looks good now.
Yeah, he does. He really does. I don't know what they see, man. I honestly don't know what they see. But, hey, man, more props to them. If they feel like this is the guy for the future, I mean, it's clear they want to spend big money on big coaches at this point. Which I understand, but, I just don't want to see this team fall behind Miami, for example, in the ACC now, when Miami is starting to try and get aggressive now and get Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, and I could easily see that happening this year.
Yeah.
This being the year Florida State moves to the bottom and bottoms out.
Dude, I have been a Florida State fan since 1990. I have never seen this team, this string of losing. I've seen like mediocrity to like maybe 8-4 teams that I reckoned with that, but this shit, no bowl games, nah. This is not for me, dude. I may sound like an entitled fan or whatever, but I've gotten so used to this team being at least guaranteed a bowl game every fucking year, and now we're here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. And it was all over spending $1 million more.
Yeah, stupid. Anyway, Zach, good luck with your picks.
Yeah, man.
Tied.
You're gonna need some help.
4 weeks ago, we're tied, man. It should be fun, but all right, buddy, take it easy.
Later.
Later.